Welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
I'm Todd Pleasant.
And I'm Brian Mix.
Yay! Almost all of us are here. We skipped last week. 2 of us were traveling. 1 of us came back with COVID, but all's good right now.
That's right.
And 3 of you were traveling actually, right? Because Brian
Oh,
was
yeah,
away
that's
last
right.
weekend, too.
Yeah.
You were traveling. Is that traveling when you go there all the time?
It's an 8-hour drive in a car.
It's traveling.
It's
Yeah.
traveling. You spend more
It's a
time
road trip
traveling
like
than
it or
I
not.
did. So
Yeah. So, happy to be back. We're going to cover 2 good things. Sometimes we have 1 good thing and 1 crappy thing, but it's all good to you. We're going to talk about Daredevil. We're through. As you hear this, we're 4 episodes in. We've all only, as we record this, we've only watched 3 episodes. So we're going to talk about the first 3
at great
episodes.
sacrifice. Yes.
A great sacrifice. It's Tuesday.
Sorry, Todd.
Oh, it's Wednesday. And we're going to talk about the prop store auction brought to you by Heritage. No,
That's an inside joke.
that's an
The
inside
last
joke.
time
The
we
Dave
did this,
Mandel joke.
the last time we did this, I read. I don't remember which auction we did, but I read the opposite catalog first. So it was like it was actually really
Well,
helpful that Barry downloaded the catalog for us because I at least knew I had the right. I knew I had the right auction. So
And Heritage does have one coming up soon. Too.
last
I
time
don't
there were
think-
2. They were almost concurrent, and I totally read the wrong one.
Yeah.
So
Well, there's always a Heritage. Maybe you read the Meteorite catalog or the I don't know, hockey puck.
Heritage has it feels like an auction a day over
They
there.
have
Heritage.
they probably have
Yeah.
more than 1 a day.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
we'll talk about the prop store auction happening March 26th, 27th, 28th. Let's do some quick random. Todd, what do you got?
okay, so on Audible, there's an Audible original called Impact Winter. It's an audio drama, basically all British cast. It's got Davos Seaworthy. It's got the foreign secretary from The Diplomat. Bella Ramsey from The Last of Us is in there. A whole bunch of British actors. Really, really cool. There's 3 installments out. The 4th installment is coming out. It's a post-apocalyptic vampire thing, and it's
geez.
way better than it sounds. They're making it into a Netflix series. So this is really, really interesting. They're taking a made-for-audio drama and producing it as a streaming series. And I thought this was really kind of a far out, unique thing to do. And then I dug into it, and one of the producers is Skybox Productions, which is Robert Kirkman's company. So, there was a plan there apparently, but it's gotten a lot of traction. It's one of these things that's free on Audible if you have an Audible subscription. And it's actually really good. There's 3 4 to 5 hour installments, and it's a larger kind of thing. They tried doing The Passage a few years ago. I don't know if any of you watched that, which was a series of not post-apocalyptic vampire novels, and they did a really bad job. And
I remember
it was it's a story that starts 70 years in the future, and they started in the present, and never got past the present.
that. And they fly or they jump.
Yeah, it was weird. This is a better done story. It's a much more approachable story, and actually think you guys will like it. And it's like I said, so far it's really, really good.
It's easy to work. Maybe that's a good way to work it all out.
It kind of is, and again,
books
they've also got great actors reading it because it's easy to get people together for an audio drama, and there's a number of things that are kind of fun with it. One of the things that I like is most of what we think we know about vampires is not true. So one of the places vampires hang out are in churches because everyone thinks vampires can't go in churches. It's stuff like that. It's cool. So
that's funny.
It's good, and that's and so that's in process.
There's a lot of things going from one media to another, that's Stranger Things Broadway musical or Broadway play.
Really?
That's just disgusting.
It's just interesting how quick that is. Where it used to be decades before that happened. One other kind of quick thing on the heels of that, there's actually production offices for the Buffy revival. They're actually, I mean, this is something that 6 months ago they were sort of talking
house? Is that what?
No, and
Did you just make a sign?
They've actually got people hired, and it's actually like moving forward, which is just kind of wild because it's something people have talked about for years, and in the space of a couple of months, it looks like it's actually going to really happen. So, kind of interesting. So, yep.
Brian, what do you got?
Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues.
Yes.
Finally has a date, September 12th.
Awesome.
I can't wait. I'll be there for showing.
Did you see the teaser?
I did not see the teaser, no.
Oh, I haven't seen the teaser.
I just saw the announcement.
There's not much to the teaser. It's just a guy walking up and turning the knob on an amplifier, and it goes to 11.
11?
And then it goes past 11, and it goes to infinity.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's so great.
All right.
Some things seem like, a cash grabs. This, while it may or may not be, it totally fits because it's like has-beens being even more has-been is great. I saw, was it? That's probably pre-COVID. I saw a screening of the Spinal Tap at the Beacon, and then the whole cast and Rob Reiner were there for an after.
Oh, wow.
And they played some songs and stuff too. It was great. It was really awesome.
Hope there's something like that again.
Even I rewatched it. Oh God, it's my 8 years ago, but it's just so brilliant. It's still brilliant, and it's just like.
So Dave, talk about a movie when you're flipping channels, you land on, you can't stop watching.
Oh, absolutely!
It's almost never on.
If I were ever to do that, it would be one of those things. But I intentionally watched it 3 years ago.
Did we have it in our list?
When I saw it streaming,
I put it.
I had it.
Yeah.
You did.
I had it.
I think we both did. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's fantastic, and hello, Cleveland.
Yes, that's our favorite thing. Every time we'd go to Cleveland, we would say "Hello, Cleveland," and have we been to Cleveland?
No, we haven't.
I had a buddy. I think.
Before,
who we used to use the expression "turn it up to 11."
Yeah,
and had no idea where it was from.
Yep.
Oh wow!
So ubiquitous in society, he just knew the phrase, but didn't know. It was
there's so many lines that I say in my everyday life that come from that movie. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
I mean.
Dave, we would go Hello Cleveland in any city we'd go to.
Anytime we would do an episode of the original Regular Joes, the photo story, and we'd always do an episode from the G.I. Joe convention, and Big Jim would pop out of the suitcase and say, "Hello, Cleveland,"
every time.
We were never in Cleveland. That's awesome. Barry, what do you got?
Light and Magic, the Disney Plus documentary series about ILM. Season 2 premieres April 18th.
Oh, nice.
And unlike the first season, which was directed by Lawrence Kasdan, Season 2 is directed by Joe Johnston. So I'm excited for this. It's about a month away. April 18th.
April 18th. Woohoo.
That's cool. Not that I'm...
Since we're going...
Go ahead. Okay.
No, I was just since we're going quick, I was just going to throw one other quick thing out there. Starship Troopers reboot is in the works at Sony.
Yep.
With Neil Blomkamp writing and directing.
Oh, interesting.
And they say he's going to stick a little bit closer to the source material than the original movie. I personally enjoy the
further
original
from the
source material. I was going to say the same thing.
I've never read it, but
yeah. Oh my God!
Wait, isn't there
I'm
a TV series too, or is that what they're talking? I saw
they've talked about a TV series at one point, and I think that's dead.
It's a movie. Yeah, I love that movie, and that's fine. It's not everybody's thing, but I'm curious. I mean, if I like Neil Blomkamp's work, so if he's going to do it, I'm actually interested to see what they might do with it.
Will Casper Van Diem play the Mr. Crab part now that he's older?
Mr. Crab.
I
can't
know.
remember that guy's name.
I don't know.
Yancey Brown.
I want to know more.
Clancy Brown.
Clancy. I don't know why I said Yancey. Clancy Brown.
Yeah,
that would be cool. It's talking about stuff premiering. This wasn't one of my things. I think Last of Us premieres in April.
Yes. Yep.
You mentioned Bella or whatever her name is.
Bella Ramsey.
Was like, boy, it's like it's forever. When's it going to be? And now all of a sudden it feels like it's here.
I saw the trailer and I'm having trouble building enthusiasm for it.
Really?
How close was that to Andor when it came out? Because I kind of feel like they're both coming back around the same time. They've both been gone just as long. So
Now, the
I haven't
Andor
seen
trailer,
the trailer.
on the other hand, actually looks like something for a change.
It does.
Andor was all said and done by the time Last of Us premiered, I think.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's like I thoroughly enjoyed it, and then it wasn't on my radar at all. It's not like I knew it was out there, but anyway.
I'm hoping that it's an easy thing to jump back into, because I enjoyed it too, and I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. So
I did too. I also feel it's one of these things that they could have ended when they ended it. So they'll have to justify bringing it back.
And I think all of us, we said this at the time, it was like we were all very done with The Walking Dead, and this was something that was a little refreshing.
That was the surprising thing. Was I was even surprised they got greenlit for it, because it was based on they're having such a fan base.
It's such a popular video game. So yeah,
and that was what drove it. But and also the people behind it were very vested in the video game. But yeah, so we'll see. And it's supposed to be a little time jump too, I guess. So we'll see.
We'll see. A couple quick things. Superman running time, they already announced 2 hours and 20 minutes.
My last thing, yep.
I feel like that's, to me, and I know Barry likes a shorter movie. I like that. If it's a good movie, I don't
mind the 2.5 hour movie as long as it moves at a good pace.
Well, like both Rebel Moons put together.
Yeah, exactly.
4 hours. It was great.
So my thought with this is, and my concern with this was, and I'm glad it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. There's a number of heroes that people have no background on that are being introduced.
Yeah, that's a lot of characters.
Yeah.
So at least you're going to have an opportunity to introduce these characters and give you some sense of who they are. You cannot do that in an hour and 45 90-minute movie.
But think about this. It's 220 without the origin story. Like, you would think in a 2 hour and 20-minute movie, the first 30 minutes of it would be origin.
We don't need it.
You would hope not.
That's a nice sweet spot of running time. I like that. And another quick thing. I didn't read the article, but Frakes, our pal Frakes, friend of the show, says Starfleet Academy is for the hardcore fans.
I did read the article, and it's a lot like the conversation we had with him.
Everyone steals from us.
Yeah,
that's fine.
And so, but he's enthusiastic.
So I heard
Tig Notaro on. I heard Tig Notaro on the Smartless podcast, and she's apparently in it.
Oh, she is? I don't love her in that.
Yeah.
But hopefully Tilly gets sent to freaking Betazoid or someplace. I don't know.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
I got two other really, really short ones.
It's your time. It's your time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying. I got
eating into Jeff Probst's time, but that's fine.
That's right. Survivor time. So Paradise. I finished season 1.
I haven't even started that.
2. Yeah, I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just saying I finished season 1. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it just got renewed for season 2.
Yes.
Okay. I knew there was something I needed to watch because I was sitting down to watch TV 2 nights ago. Pam was doing something else, so we couldn't watch any of the stuff we watched together. And I'm like, I have nothing to watch on my own. I forgot about that, and I started rewatching the original Battlestar Galactica.
So not spoiling anything more than I already have for Dave.
You already fucking spoiled it.
I did not fucking spoil it. It happens in the first 20 minutes. It's not the premise of the show. Anyways, Barry, last 5 minutes of the first episode, right?
Oh, yeah. It's great.
Brilliant.
It's a good show.
Yeah,
good show.
The vice president dies also. Oh my god!
I just finished.
No, he was a killer.
I just finished the second season of Silo. Great show, love it. I started the book.
It's. Let me know what you think of the book because I think I'm gonna listen to it. So
I'm pulling a ton and I'm doing the audiobook. I'm up and back to Ticonderoga.
Oh, good.
You have enough time on your hands. Jesus.
I really like the show. Second season, very different than the first season.
Yeah.
Definitely did not move at the same pace, but I feel like they've done a great job both world building and then world expanding. So, curious to see where
answering your questions at just about the right pace.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, there's stuff in the book.
So, Dave, you said you're
what?
Really? Okay,
Yes.
I gotta listen then.
Yeah.
Who do you remember? Who reads it? Is it good?
I don't know who reads it, and he does a number of voices, so it's a good job.
Okay, excellent, good. Check it out.
Barry? Yes?
Well, yeah. So just commenting, you said you're rewatching Galactica. I started rewatching Andor in prep for season 2. And I got to say, I'm enjoying it even more. I think it's maybe my third time through it, but binging it, because there was a lot of continuity stuff that I don't think I fully got watching it week by week. So anyway,
interesting.
That wasn't the other thing I wanted to say, though. This is a very brief, short rant, but today they announced Hot Toys is doing a Japanese Star Wars convention exclusive Galen Erso figure as a convention Star Wars Celebration exclusive. 1,500 pieces, whatever. I don't really want Galen Erso as a figure, but we never got Cassian Andor. We never got a Cassian Andor figure. And we never got a Baze Malbus figure, but they're doing Galen Erso as a convention exclusive.
But as a 1,500, because it's only 1,500 pieces. I mean, that's the whole point. It's like
we never got a Cassian. He was the second lead in Rogue One, and he had an entire 12 episodes of a season. Would you be
Barry? How would you feel if the 1,500 piece exclusive was Cassian?
Oh, no doubt, I'd be annoyed. I don't know that we're ever going to get a Cassian, is my point, but yet we're getting Galen Erso as a convention exclusive. I'm not happy about it. With Andor season 2 coming out, we really should get. An Andor,
I think we should. We will. Honestly, I think we should based on Andor.
Maybe he won't sign off on it.
But I feel like it should be based on Rogue One because all the other figures.
We got what's her face, right? We got the girl.
Yeah, I have. They did Jyn Erso. They did K2SO, and they did
the monk guy,
Chirrut Emwe, but they never did the rest of the crew. So anyway,
I bet it's him. It's got to be with some of these instances.
Could be,
but
could be.
Anyway, Galactica was nothing like Star Wars. Just so you know,
it wasn't. It was more like
the only thing that was like it was the technology they used for the special effects because it was the same crew. Other than that, it's not really.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I got to say, some of the models are like, wow, this is something they just didn't get around to using.
There's some matte lines and stuff, but it's 1978. I'm doing work for a guy who has just about every Battlestar Galactica costume, so he's got all of them. So
I think I'm going to rewatch it. I have not rewatched it in a really, really long time.
I bought the DVD set, so I'm just cleaning up. There's some black gunk from all these speakers.
Speaking of DVD sets, it's a random thing, but the Batman animated series, the entire Blu-ray set, is on sale on Amazon for like 60% off this week. It's like $30, and it's the best animated thing ever. And that's super cheap. It's a lot less than I paid for it. So
there you go. All right. Anyway, well, yeah, the Galactica is not on any streaming service. I thought and even though I have the DVDs in the big Cylon head, I'm like, you can't.
It's not on Peacock. I would have assumed it was on Peacock if it was anywhere.
I don't have fucking Peacock. They suck.
Okay. I'm just saying it might be there.
Dave has spoken. A Comcast company. Say no more.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, and while I was watching it, it's widescreen. So I'm wondering if they zoomed in on for the DVDs or something.
They might have. I mean, remember the movie, the initial couple episodes they cut into a movie and put it in theaters. So that might have been.
Unless we never noticed that maybe the show was letterboxed.
No,
could it have been?
No, it was definitely not letterboxed.
Yeah,
but it was shot on film, so that the effects were done in film, so they could have scanned the whole thing. But
I'm like, wait a second.
I saw it in theaters in Sense-Around.
Anyway, and by the way,
anybody else see
Jensen still looks great.
Saw it in theaters, not without Sense-Around.
Anyway. I saw it with Sense-Around.
You know what's better than Sense-Around? Fanboy Collectibles.
Fanboy Collectibles.
If anyone is in their 50s and remembers Sense-Around. Earthquake. So,
yes.
Up for some pre-orders. Hasbro Doctor Doom helmet. Interesting. It looks pretty cool, despite what we think about Robert Downey Jr., but that does look cool. Check that out. Barry, this could be one for you. Hot Toys Batman from The Flash. It's Michael Keaton Batman, but it's the older version.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
I like that one. I like that movie
I've
better
been
than I like the
fighting
original
the
one.
urge to pull a trigger on that.
I
I have
know.
a,
Yeah,
I
that
have a
one looks
Batman
really
Returns
cool.
Batman.
And it's got a good sculpt. 2 Mr. Freezes from the Batman and Robins. Interesting. Maybe they'll start making more stuff out of that. So that's cool. Hono Toys Rebel Stormtrooper. We'd seen that before, I think, or something from that.
You know what? These are. I don't think we've seen these before. These are 1/6 scale Stormtrooper and Sand Trooper, but they're done in the cartoon style from Rebel. They look
from Rebels
really cool, and I think they're really priced right. They're affordable.
So those are cool. Check those out. They got Pops and Sideshow and Hot Toys and Kotobukiya and obviously Hasbro and Soso Toys and Hono Toys and other toys. They got everything.
You know what's in stock, which is really, I think we talked about it once before, but the Mezco Conan, but the Barbarian statue is in stock and looks amazing. So if you're a Conan person, go get it.
Don't forget statues. And if you are a snob about statues and think only articulated, we were those people once, and we now have some statues.
Yep. And if you're like big into Mexican death goddesses, the La Muerta premium format statue looks amazing. Kind of like Jenna Ortega from Hell, but very cool.
Jenna Coleman.
Not Jenna
Mexican
Coleman.
Jenna Coleman.
Yeah, Jenna Ortega from Hell, but it's that's pretty amazing looking.
Jenna Coleman was not.
Dave, I'm curious why you didn't mention any of the Mars Attacks Funko Pops.
I didn't.
Yeah,
my browser,
which are in stock and ready to purchase.
Yeah, but I'll mention something about that after this. Check those guys out, fanboycollectibles.com. Check them out at their store in Newtown, Connecticut, and tell them the regular Joe sent you. Who on the Props podcast? There's a Mars Attacks stuff in the auction, which we're going to get to, and Ryan says how much he likes it, and Dave says how much it's a piece of shit. So I'm with Dave.
He apparently hated that movie as much as we did.
I hate that too, and not only because of our pal Tim Burton. Well, check out. Speaking of Props podcast, what a segue. From Dave's Workshop's commercial is again in the Stuff Dreams Are Made of podcast. So this is a commercial for a commercial. So listen to halfway through. We've got a new ad. But if any of your prop display or plaque needs, check us out. Damn it! From Dave's Workshop.com. I always say Fanboy Collectibles.
He'll get it right.
If you go to Fanboy Collectibles, he'll send you my way. Don't worry about it. We're working on some interesting stuff. We'll post about that soon. Okay. We're going to talk about L.A. Law. No, I'm sorry, Daredevil. Since it's only been lawyer stuff.
Hell's Kitchen Law?
Well, he's not in
Hell's Kitchen.
I know he's not.
Let me... I don't know if I could ask this question and get an honest answer. Todd, is it everything you wanted it to be up till now, or are you like a little? I wish it was a little something more.
I do wish there was a little more Daredevil, but the story they've built. I mean, he's not Daredevil. He's got to get back to being Daredevil, and we've got to see that happen. So yes, I would have liked to have seen more Daredevil stuff. Honestly, I think they could have done the Arrow thing and worked in more flashbacks or something and done something like that just to keep him in the suit. Because there is 5 years we didn't see, presumably, if he didn't get snapped up. But yeah, no, it's, I will say though, that even like doing like the courtroom stuff, like they did in the third episode, it wasn't drawn out. I was like really worried when that trial started that was going to be like a three episode thing. And it wasn't. And
I just want to say right here and right now, spoiler alert, we are going to spoil this, right? So if anybody's listening, Daryl or Sean or anybody else, we're going to spoil it. But I just felt like I needed to throw that in because
White Tiger's dead.
Something I'm going to say very because it's something I'm going to say very soon. But go ahead.
Yeah. I am enjoying it. Okay,
I'm enjoying it too.
And I again, having watched just rewatched the 3 seasons of Daredevil. It's a very different feel. It's a very different thing. and it's got to establish itself. And so, it's not going to be exclusively about him in the costume. And he, like I said, there's a road to get him back there.
Yeah, of course. Born Again.
Same way there
obviously.
was in each of the 3 seasons. They took him out of being, they had to get him.
Really
being
doesn't want to be, but always gets pulled back in.
Exactly. And so. Yeah.
I do feel like we're a little all over the place, but that's fine.
Yep.
I feel like the Daredevil stuff we did see in episode 1 tried a little too hard. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, and I'm not bashing it, I'm enjoying it too. And like Daredevil is almost like pizza and sex and Star Trek. Well, except for Discovery. Any of those are good no matter what. But it's like we've got to beat the hallway fight, and you just didn't. I feel like you tried too hard.
I think they knew they were, that was going to be your only Daredevil action for a little while, and so they wanted to be familiar and be in that vein. I actually felt the Daredevil stuff was a little video gamey.
Yeah, I definitely felt like it was not the same choreography, and it was a little
definitely not. This is Disney.
Top.
It's not Netflix. It's shot.
Disney has more money. Well, they did it. They have more money now. Well, no, they don't. They may have about the same money that Netflix had.
It's
back
much
then.
more cinematically shot, and I actually I miss a little bit of how the old series was shot, where it was, they did a lot of tight shots because they didn't have all.
But it was
all
more the acting.
Kind of money.
I mean, a lot of grunting and just it was just not. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Anyone else, guys? What are you thinking about what you saw?
Well, I'm enjoying it too. So I'm just going to start there. For me, and I realized that maybe they just wanted to bridge from the Netflix series to this series, but they kind of made a big deal about bringing Karen and Foggy back, and they literally killed Foggy in the first 5 minutes, and then you haven't seen Karen since the end of the first episode. It's kind of like, why did they make such a big deal out of that? If just for effect, like to just literally kill the guy in the first 5 minutes.
So, if they had gone right into his being partners at a law firm in Manhattan, and this is what they're doing, and they get this office that looks like a startup and all this kind of stuff, and they never mention them, which is exactly what supposedly the story was as originally shot. You understand why they needed to have them in there in some way, but they also created distance from it. The other thing is, again, having just rewatched the previous 3 seasons, or the original series, I should say, they were trying really hard to have storylines for everybody, and I think really this is the story of the 2 leads, and we'll see her again at some point, I'm sure, but it's I would like to have seen a little more of Foggy before he bled out in the sidewalk.
And I do think, as we know, Daredevil or Matt as a character, he lives in, I don't want to say the past, but Matt always carries a ton of baggage.
He's a tortured soul.
He carries his freaking, a Catholic upbringing, his father's death. I don't know that if we really wanted to analyze him as a character, he may not have made the jump back to Daredevil if that wasn't sort of what pushed him out of it. This White Tiger's dead, we all said that.
Yep.
This is obviously, I feel like the catalyst is going to push him back, and it's not necessarily about White Tiger. It's probably more about Foggy died, and I didn't do it. He lives in the past.
Yeah. Well, the other thing with Foggy dying is he pushed Bullseye. he tried to kill Bullseye. There's no question he did not try to kill
and
Bullseye.
That sent him over the edge.
And that was the point when as he said to Fisk, he said that a line was crossed. He'd gone too far, and he always made. And this particularly made sense when you watch season 2 with the Punisher. Is that he has got a code, and he does not break the code, and he will not break the code. He will not kill. And he goes to these extreme lengths to not kill and to keep Frank from killing. And then he tried to kill a dude. And so
justified though. I actually thought after, and again, all over the place.
Yeah.
Season 2, when he fights those two cops in the apartment.
Episode 2. Yep.
Episode 2.
I thought one of them. They literally had a shot where the guy gets punched and goes to the floor, and it looks like he broke his neck. I'm like,
it looks like he killed him.
He kind of did. Yep.
Did he kill him?
No,
he didn't kill him though.
No, it looked like he did.
No, I thought he did, and then I was like,
I'm
going to have a big problem with like all of a sudden he's just killing willy nilly.
No.
And I'm glad
he threw him down on his neck in a way that looked like he should have died.
I think that's what they were looking for you to think. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But apparently he's not dead. Obviously.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, so
okay,
that would have been like.
But they are killing a bunch of people.
I don't know what show you guys are watching, but I've been watching Matt Murdock, Attorney at Law, and I think it's pretty darn good.
That's what it is right now.
Are you going to have any Daredevil in your Daredevil show?
I think.
I came into this having seen nothing read other than the Affleck movie.
Which is awesome, by the way.
I've never read the book. I did not see the show. Love the two characters he was interrogating with, Fisk and Karen, and they're gone.
Yeah.
And then he took off the suit. It's like, it's a Marvel movie. I'm expecting a guy in a suit every episode. Most of the episode, hopefully. And this has just been...
Well, you're getting it. It's just a guy named White Tiger.
We hardly saw him in his suit. No, wait.
Yeah,
was White Tiger in any of the other stuff?
What was the Todd, help me, the show with the guy in the
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight again. It's like, where is frickin' Moon Knight? I want to see
because Brian, these are like 9-hour movies, okay? And we're not even, we're
no. The unfortunate thing is, it's almost half until we don't know if we get Daredevil in episode 4.
But what I'm saying is it's like we're a third of the way into the story, and if this were, we'd be a whole lot further along if this were a 2-hour movie. Okay, this is the same thing that people complained about with Andor, that it was moving too slow. Okay, and it's like I know that, but I'm saying this is. I also don't think this is built for an audience that didn't already spend a bunch of time with Daredevil. Okay,
well, I'm expecting episode 4. He's going to go work on the Death Star for about 3 episodes, then come back.
That is okay. I read some spoilers today. That's exactly what happens. He builds sub-assemblies for the Death Star for the entire episode.
Golden rule is broken.
Yeah.
What is the bad guy's plan?
Yeah,
no clue.
See, but we don't really have. We don't have a bad guy yet.
But here's the thing, Brian.
Are we assuming Fisk is the bad guy?
Oh, Fisk is the bad guy.
We've had 3 seasons of Fisk as the bad guy,
Kingpin.
So the question is now is he reformed? Is he not reformed? And how long does it take, for that to come up? It's a really tricky proposition, taking the person who has been the bad guy for 3 previous seasons, 36 previous episodes, and telling that story again. So
if he's not the bad guy, then they don't have one.
But we're also, I just want to say, we're taking the guy who was notoriously the bad guy, who now seems to want to reform himself, and he's in therapy.
Yeah.
So,
but here's the thing: that's
none of that is a recipe for an awesome.
The most therapy is just
connecting
tissue, though. That's how they tie the characters together.
Who's a bad guy, a criminal, and a piece of shit get elected to a high office? I don't even know how that's possible in real life.
It's just totally. So you're saying a convicted felon, someone who is a convicted felon, and it's impossible to imagine a world
horrible human
where that person could be voted into a high office. I
had to remind my wife when we were watching it that this was written and created long before the election ever happened, and it's not meant to be commentary on current events.
Yeah. So, anyways, yes. So, a couple things that I'm going to say, I haven't read this anywhere like this. Okay, so, James Gandolfini's son, I forget his first name, who's the campaign guy?
Michael. Yeah.
Got to be Wilson Fisk's son. I think he's like his unacknowledged son. doesn't, he's going to find that out or something like that. There's a reason that they're focusing on that character in some way.
Yeah.
Because he's not a Wilson Fisk kind of person. He's not the Wesley kind of guy. There's a reason that guy's, he's gaining importance. Or I think he's going to be the one that's doing stuff that's ultimately going to be blamed on Fisk. There's going to be something. It's going to be something. But
it is a little odd that the bad guy's not doing anything bad and the good guy's not doing anything.
And now that the wife has got the kind of taken on the criminal role, which we saw. I mean, they foreshadowed that in the previous series. So I don't know. I'm content seeing these characters build for a couple more episodes. They've got a couple more.
We're just if it's
9 episodes, you're gonna have the showdown.
If at the end of, I'll even give you at the end of 4, he's not putting on something red, I'm going to be concerned.
I don't. But we're not halfway through yet, so
we're not. But when you really you talk about Kingpin, he's just plain. Like in a coma, practically. There's nothing going on.
Something's going on because twice now they've focused in on his knuckles being bruised. If he's not beating the crap out of people, then why are his knuckles bruised?
True, interesting.
Mm.
They just haven't shown it, which is.
I'd almost rather you. I get you. Got to get the good guy to put the costume back on. Fisk should have been bad. Like, hey, I'm the mayor, and now I can get away with everything. Kind of like what's going on in Washington.
I mean, the only thing he's done so far is threaten the police chief to not quit and basically threatened his family. So he's doing creepy things, but not nearly at the level of what we're used to seeing Kingpin do.
There's nothing going on that a superhero needs to stop.
Right.
But
I think where this is going is going to be the anti-vigilante thing. Okay. And I think that's what this is going to be. It's going to be which was the kind of precursor in the comics for Civil War, which actually was one of White Tiger being killed in the comics was one of the catalysts for Civil War. But we'll see.
He was what was he against the White Tiger being acquitted, right? Fisk.
He was against him being acquitted. Yes, Kingpin was, and he came out.
If we could have Fisk being the one who had him killed, we can maybe get this train going.
I think this Punisher group of cops, I think are affiliated with Fisk. I do. So the cops with the Punisher tattoos.
Yeah. So we don't think it was the Punisher.
No, it's not. It's definitely not.
So. Yeah.
No.
Punisher's going to be a good guy. I never saw the
anti-hero, maybe.
Define good guy.
Anti-hero. No, okay. Put it this way: the Punisher only kills bad guys. Okay, and that's been consistent, and that's been right down the line. And so I have a feeling
since the Mitch Buchanan, I can't remember David Hasselhoff. Movie.
And like I said, I think we've all said we're enjoying it, but I wish we were just saying we were really enjoying it and there wasn't a but in that sentence. Like, I want a little bit more than we're getting right now.
Yeah. And I do too. I also understand why we're getting at the pace we're going. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end, and I do not think the end is the 9th episode. I think this is going to be 2 seasons without a several year gap between them. And I think because this was originally supposed to be 18 episodes, and I think because it was supposed to be originally 18 episodes, and a lot of this was reshot and redone, we're gonna see at least like 5 or 6 episodes that are moving at a slower pace than the rest of it. Because I think
what's interesting, and I know you can't always trust IMDb information, but some of the characters it lists 17 episodes and it says 2025, 2026. Like Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio. Yeah. It says Deborah Ann Wall is in 14 episodes.
Yep, it does. It also says the DA is in 2 episodes and she's already been in 3. So
so that's what I'm saying. I know you can't necessarily trust it.
No. So
actually, she's listed as being in 17 episodes.
The DA is.
Wait, the DA is a guy.
Kristen. No, it's
his partner.
Right, his part, the former DA is his
Oh
partner.
no! Now it says she's in 4 episodes. I was looking at the therapist.
Okay, so
She's
she
in
was
17
when I
episodes.
last looked at it, it said she was in 2.
Oh my God, this therapist is in 17 episodes. Ugh.
Yeah.
I was thinking
She's
the
his new
therapist
girlfriend.
was going to get taken out by Fisk.
Yeah. Okay,
because she found out something. That could be good.
I'm going to go deep in the comics, but both of those characters in the comics are his ex-girlfriends. So both the DA and that therapist. The therapist wasn't a therapist, but she was another lawyer.
Who's he? Who's he? Daredevil's
Daredevil.
ex-girlfriend? Oh.
Yeah.
For a brooding,
You know what the
Catholic
therapist's
dude,
previous credit was to
gets around.
before she was in Daredevil, right? Does anybody know?
The immediate previous credit, we're going to try just not to think about that, okay?
What was it?
Oh, Dave, you don't
She
know?
was in The Acolyte.
I was going to say
God.
Acolyte.
She was the
Was she
horny
the
mom.
mother?
She was one of the
mom.
mothers. Yeah.
I couldn't even
Yeah.
picture her.
She was the other mother with all the
She's
horns
not the
in her face.
DA. She's
She was the Caucasian
his
mother
partner.
with the horns on her head. Yeah.
Yeah, she's been in
Yeah.
a ton of things. And I actually do like the actress. I think she's good, but it's a very different take on that character. We'll see. They had to, I got to say, having watched just binge 36 episodes of this, they had to do something different, and because either they were going to make a pale imitation of what they did, or they were going to go a different way. The criticism when this was taken over, at least what's been expressed, was it was too much exactly what Brian said. It was too much Matt Murdock, attorney at law. And so they rejiggered it to move it away from that. But I think a lot of this was shot before that point. So,
Well, I guess we'll see.
it's funny. I read online that there's a bunch of people upset that the first established Puerto Rican hero was like murdered immediately. That was not only in the comics, but the actor died in 2023. So
the guy.
Yeah, the actor he was ill while they were filming, and he passed away in 2023. So yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't even realize that. That's horrible.
I was not familiar with the White Tiger character. I've never read that in comics or anything. I thought it was interesting that
right out of that whole story was right out of the comics, and they spun it a little bit. It was a little bit different than that, but he died in very similarly in the comics, but again, the actor was ill during the filming, and people have said that, and he passed away of cancer,
that's awful.
Yeah, December 2023.
I thought it was interesting to hear the words mystical amulet, like
usually, I mean, we know.
Yeah. Like it was right. Like it was
we're
just
in a
normal
world
thing.
where there's
everybody knows if you're not wearing
everybody.
mystical amulet, you're not.
And I got to say, Gary, that was
so
one of the things that I was like, I vaguely remember that from the comics, and that he did, he had like enhanced speed and things like this from his amulet, but they did not explain that at all. I mean, it was like he just dropped it in court, and it was kind of like.
I think it's a world where, okay, we get it. That happens.
Yeah.
There's a freaking talking raccoon.
Yeah.
Todd, what glasses do you wear? Do you wear these glasses when you're watching this?
No, I wear my Andor glasses. I wear my Andor glasses where I make excuses for everything until something actually happens.
I'm holding up Crystal Skull.
Yeah, I get that.
It's that's not for you. That's for the audience. If we haven't mentioned the words crystal sculling is wanting something to be better than it actually is.
I'm not saying I want it to be better than it actually. I'm saying yes, I do. I expect it's going to get better than it is.
Because
I don't think that's unrealistic.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Because again, like I said, we are watching a lot of what we've seen, short of the first 10 minutes, was what was in the can before they decided to retool the show. So we'll see.
I think to sum it up, I'm enjoying it. I just think we want more from it.
Yeah. And I think we'll get that. Yep. I don't think it's going to be on your schedule.
I don't think it's going to be this season. No.
Yeah.
Hey, it could all open up. And I do like the character, and that you enjoy how there's a lot to this character. He's not one dimensional at all. So I enjoy his process. But okay, we got to move on. So let us know what you think, and we'll see. Maybe it'll all open up tonight or whenever we watch the next episode. Okay. Prop Star Auction coming up, not sponsored, March 26, 27, 28. Although Stephen Lane likes some of my posts. Thank you, Stephen. I feel like there's always a lot of stuff. I don't know. I think there's a couple of really big things, but I don't know. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff we've seen before.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's sold in other auctions, and now they're being listed for much more higher prices. But
I got to say, this is one auction where I've seen things and go, Dave has to buy that. Barry has to buy that.
Really? I'd like to hear that.
So when we get to those, please tell us what they are.
Going through this, the thing that struck me was there's 3 days of this. Very similar items appear on 2 different days from the same thing, which is odd.
I really like
one
this
is
format,
always the more expensive stuff.
I know, I get that, but I'm saying, why would you do that? Why would you? I mean, there must be a logic behind that, but why would you put what seem to be the 2 kind of marquee items in the first day when?
Because they've learned they can only do about 400 or 500 items a day before people burn out and they don't make any money. So they put the expensive stuff on day 1, less expensive day 2, even less expensive day 3.
See, but day 1 is a live in-person auction day where they're going to get the most excitement. And day 2 and day 3 are online only.
And
so
I do think
that's
okay. So I don't know this.
I also think they have the whales probably don't even pay attention to day 2 and 3, so that it's probably I feel like it's this format that's just been created by the community of how they interact with stuff. So anyway, I don't know how there's a lot of cool stuff.
Let's just go round table.
Let's go. Barry, start.
All right. So the first thing I saw in the catalog that I actually really liked, it was right up front in the beginning of the catalog, item number 5. They've got a warhead and the carrying case for the warhead from the Abyss. And for me, very iconic. I thought they were really cool.
And not that I don't, but yeah.
Estimates are only $2,500 to $5,000, which it'll go for more than that, but thought that was a fair estimate for something like that. James Cameron movie.
A similar thing, the detonator bolt from the Nostromo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Similar cool little item that, $16,000, maybe not so obtainable, but it was a cool little.
Yeah, I don't feel like much of this stuff is attainable. Yeah. I had the alien spacesuit. I mean, that was my first item.
That was also awesome. My thing. So
that would be worth having a mannequin fight.
Oh my God, yes, that would be just phenomenal.
But it's a ridiculous price.
Yeah. So I was very disappointed to find that if you buy all the pieces to the power loader, you still don't have a power loader. So
and those aren't if. I heard this on the Props podcast. They're not even pieces that were used.
Yeah.
Those were extra pieces.
Yeah, they're extra pieces. But you know what? Having a single piece from the power loader is a lot more affordable than having a power loader.
And having the space to have the power loader. My thing would be, my first thing that comes up would be the Batman Returns costume from 1992. I like the logo better than the original Batman movie. And
I do too. I didn't like that.
They improved the costume somewhat, and that's why that's the Hot Toys one that I have, and that's the closest I'll ever get to this because it's already at $85,000. So,
one thing that is obtainable on here was if you don't go crazy, is the labels from the Time Machine from Back to the Future. I know it's just a couple of Dymo labels, but it is it is from the first movie.
I actually I have some of those. Those
Dynamo labels,
from the movie. I'd be. Which one do you want? I'd be willing to sell you. What do you want? The flux capacitor, and I have the red tape too.
Yeah. Yep. So
it is amazing. I think the next thing I had, which I might have to fight Brian for it, is the matte painting from Logan's Run.
Yeah, I have the written down too.
The Lincoln painting.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
All those Matt, is it not Matt, Urich, whatever the guy's name is?
Yeah,
Matthew Urich.
Yeah, they're just awesome. But
I just feel like the Logan's Run one might be the only obtainable one in that whole lot. The other ones are going to go for way more money.
Blade Runner.
But the problem with those is, even if you could afford them, they're all massive.
Yeah, they're really big.
They're like, how big is that one? It's like they're all like 40.
It's
like
70 by 31. Yeah,
the movie poster size, and they're made of glass. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some of these are on board, thankfully, but it would be cool hanging in like your living room. Where else would you put it?
Yeah.
I did have the utility belt.
Yep.
That's the thing. I meant to look back. I think they sold for $15,000 in the Greg Jean auction.
Yep.
And the estimate on this is like 20 to 40 or 40 to 60.
Well, but I remember there was 3 of them in the Greg Jean auction, and each one subsequently went for more money. So
yeah, but there were
a few of them in that auction.
I would love to have one of those. I mean, when you think of Batman, 60s, like if you could have anything from 66 Batman, what would you want? I mean, the cowl for sure, but the belt really could be a one and done. It speaks for itself.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
but not at that
agree
price.
With that.
I couldn't afford the one at the Greg Jean prices.
Yeah,
the one that the thing that jumped out at me that you guys won't necessarily hit on is the screen used neuralizers from Galaxy Quest.
Oh, Galaxy
I was
Quest,
getting to
awesome.
that.
Oh, there's a bunch of Galaxy Quest stuff.
Yeah,
a little before that. I was just going to say because we passed out, but the Judge Anderson's costume from Dredd, which we saw sell in a previous auction, is now back on a display.
There's a lot
because it did not go for insane money last time, but now it's back on it. Somebody bought it, put it on a display, and now it's back listed again.
I have a procedural question here. Do you guys have the auction numbers written down next to your items? Did you write down the number? Okay, say the number so I know if I know you skipped over something of mine.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We don't jump too far ahead.
What number are you guys on?
I've got item number 100.
I have 89.
You guys go ahead. The Nebulizer is 141. Go ahead.
80. Not that it's the diehard walkie-talkie radio.
Yeah.
I've always been looking for those on eBay to even get sort of one, but you can't find them.
Yeah.
There's, that's not that I would pay money for that, but it'd be cool to get it as a replica.
Well, and I had number 100, which is Emily Blunt's helicopter blade sword from Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, that is cool.
It's just so cool.
There've been a few of those, and that's cool.
They've got the stunt suit that her stunt person wore, the exoskeleton suit. That's amazing. But to me, if you're going to have something from that movie, like this sword is perfect.
Yeah,
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Or his shotgun.
Yeah. Or his shotgun.
Yeah.
Over Dave's shoulder there. Yeah.
It's right there.
Yep.
I happen to have his stunt shotgun.
Anybody got anything before 128?
I thought this was cool. From Elf. There's a bunch of Elf stuff here, but you could get a couple of the naughty and nice pages from his big giant book. I mean, I think they're way overpriced, but that would be a fun thing to just put on a quick display.
Oh, you guys!
Yeah, I thought that the engine from the sled was amazing too, but it's huge.
Yeah,
I think that they didn't not mention it on the show, but something that's right up the alley of the prop guys is the umbrella from Blade Runner, the light up umbrella from Blade Runner.
Yep.
And they did not mention it.
Yep.
That's nice. Again, that was sold, I think, in Greg Jean's auction too. Wait, should have bought this stuff the first time.
Let's talk Galaxy Quest then.
Before we get there, my other thing before that one at 128 was Ferris Bueller's the shoes, the white bucks that Matthew Broderick wore in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I thought that would be a really cool thing. So,
about the nebulizers, I have it's a screen used costume from Galaxy Quest, but it's not. It's a fan costume from the crowd of Galaxy Quest.
There's a bunch of those in the later days.
Yes,
right.
Yep, and page. Yeah,
I've got one of those from way back when. So it'd be fun to have the cheap ass nebulizer to go with it. Although it's not so cheap ass when it's $5.
They may have.
What I thought was amazing with the Galaxy Quest stuff is when we keep talking about the Greg Jean auction, but we'll never own the landing party set from Star Trek But between the things in this auction, you could get the Galaxy Quest landing party set between their version of the tricorder, their version of the communicator, their version of the phaser. I know the prices are going to go probably a little crazier than what they've got as their estimates, but it seems more obtainable here than Star Trek ones. These are cool though. They have light up ones and stuff like this stuff is excellent.
Yeah, that's I would I gotta look closer at that because I don't remember what's in the back, but there is fan stuff in the back.
Yep.
In the later days.
Yes, in two, in day 2.
Yeah, that's a costume I need to complete. I got to put that fan costume together because it'll fit me. It's a jumpsuit.
Right.
They definitely had a couple. I don't remember what the numbers were.
So I know there's been a lot of coverage on YouTube between Adam Savage's videos and the prop podcast videos, but this ghost trap is spectacular.
Oh my god!
That's my next
thing. Videos?
Check out the videos.
Oh my god!
This is one of the best, if not the best thing in the auction. I
just
think it's
the fact
amazing.
that it all still works, and the 1980s era controller still works and activates every one of the functions on this thing is amazing.
That's because it's mechanical, basically. I mean, if it was all electronic, it would have fried probably. But
the only thing it doesn't do is have smoke coming out of it. But everything else, I mean, the doors open, the lights come on, the lights flash.
They open and close, which is cool.
Yeah, the little strip light thing works still. I mean, and the controller itself is awesome. Just looking at the controller, it's like so 80s.
I think I have one of those that's very close to that, and it's from the 80s. I got to go dig it out and see if it's the same one.
And that also has the Dymo labels on it.
Yeah.
On the controller.
Yeah. So if you go either watch the stuff dreams are made of or tested that video with all of it working and stuff, because it does a lot. It's awesome, and it's going to go for a big number. Hey, its estimate is a big number. So...
Yeah, it is. But I mean, you know what? Out of there's 3 or 4 items in this auction that are going to go for those kind of numbers, and this is one of them.
I think this is one of the big 3. I do.
Yeah.
You know, in the back door of that is the production made proton pack. I mean, it's not screen used, but if you want a proton pack that's made by the same guys,
the shell,
that's reasonable. Yeah.
The belt,
and they're also saying that the belt that they have, Egon's belt, is one of the only known complete belts outside of the Warner Brothers archive, or not Warner Brothers.
And what's interesting, it's a fairly low price, but if you watch, I think it's in bad shape. It's definitely, it's really,
it is, and I watched the tested video, and like, it's not even a real circuit board. It's like cardboard, like it's just painted cardboard, which looks fine on camera, but it is amazing.
Yeah. I wonder if they don't say, I wonder if it's like, not necessarily a stunt belt, but I wonder if it's like a running belt or something, because the other ones I thought were made out of real circuits and Nixie tubes and all that stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's a decent price.
The next...
I bet it goes for a lot.
Yeah, it will go for a lot.
Okay, so the next item is one that Dave must buy. The Club Obi-Wan autograph menu.
Oh, what number is that?
185.
180. I have something before that. What do I have? Oh, I had the Indie Clapper. 180. Oh, 186.
I had that too.
Indie Clapper's awesome.
Before that, I had Dumbledore's wand, which I thought was kind of that could be like a one and done Harry Potter thing. This is the light up one, which I thought was really cool. Yeah, that Club Obi-Wan menu is something that really needs to be next to the chicken skewers.
Yep.
It's way more than I paid for the chicken skewers.
It's already at $4,700. That auction hasn't even started yet.
No,
I like how they have a hat.
No wonder. It's got Spielberg and Lucas autographs on it.
Yeah. And I love how they have the hat and the whip, but they're just like, they were used on a photo shoot. They're not.
I have those listed. Now, let me ask you this. So hats, a real indie hat is probably $350,000.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, this is not an indie hat, but it was on a photo shoot with Harrison Ford. I feel like this could be the closest you can get to a real indie hat that has something going for a fraction of the cost. I would buy this.
You put up the pictures of the photo from the photo shoot, and who's gonna say boo?
But you might as well have a replica, Dave, that wasn't on a photo shoot for $400 or $1,000.
I don't know if I do have one for $50.
No, I know, but I mean, there are great replicas out there that are almost as good as the ones used in the movie, and they're a fraction.
They weren't in the same room as Harrison Ford.
I guess.
No, and that's
if
the,
he has a
that's
if
the
there's a
provenance
picture
right
of him
there.
wearing it,
I haven't seen the
it's
cover.
still too much money. It's in the picture. If you have the catalog.
Oh, it's in the catalog. Okay, I don't have the catalog.
Yeah. Oh, I have the catalog open.
Right.
It's not. It's a picture of him, and it's hanging on a thing.
Oh, it's not on his head.
Not on his.
No, it was in his presence. Maybe, and maybe he put it on his head in the photo shoot as a goof, but there's no picture of that.
Yeah.
Well, if you could get the proofs from that, I'm going to find out where he's going to be, and I'm going to take my hat and put it in the same room with him, and then I'll be satisfied.
There you go.
Anyway.
There you go. All right, I got 262. Anybody have anything before that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
At 230, the Thor helmet, autographed by both Chris Helmsworth and Stan Lee from Stan Lee's personal collection. I think that's kind of cool. I mean,
the fact that it was in Stan Lee's collection makes it cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna, that's because of that. It's got a lot of. You got to wonder how many things like that he palmed just so he could, because that's Stan Lee. But then here's my big one. I mean, physically big one. 233, Jane Foster's stunt 1973 Pingauser 710K truck. So it's actually the truck that she was driving in Thor. Starting $6,000, estimate $12,000 to $24,000. Okay,
the shipping costs alone are.
I would totally. So can I? My question would be, can I pick this? It's a cool truck.
Does it run?
You can pick it up in London.
Can I pick it up and drive it back? So
they probably
if it drives.
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's the largest object that I flagged. So,
I think one of the things that's going to go outrageous that people are underestimating is Pee Wee's bike.
Oh yes, yep.
259.
High.
I
agree.
Yeah,
and
reproduce those things. Yeah.
I've got, while not Pee Wee's bike, I really would want to own this, the screen matched Globey from Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I was not young enough. Unlike when I saw Willow as a child, I was not a child when I watched Pee Wee's Playhouse. I was a young adult, but I loved that show.
Yeah.
And it's Globey. Come on.
What's
I don't
Globey?
know anything about that.
I never watched it. Don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
But I know the bike.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the movie is way better even than Pee Wee's Playhouse was. But Pee Wee's Playhouse was not a kids show targeted at kids.
I do like these. Did you guys see the hand drawings from the Captain America Winter Soldier end
That was
sequences? Cool. That's very cool. And those were in an auction before, and they were way cheaper. So,
well, that's going to be true.
I don't have anything into like
the
300s.
All right. Well, I've got $299. If nobody has anything before that.
Nope.
Dot Matrix's head from Spaceballs. I mean, iconic. And then they've also got the Mega Maid head from Spaceballs. I would take either. I would be very happy with either of those.
2 items down is iconic Spock's backpack from the motion picture.
Yep.
That's iconic.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big piece.
Yeah.
That's a big piece. That's part of the problem with that one, but it is cool.
That helmet again, Barry. We saw that helmet how many times?
Yep.
I know that helmet's been around.
I know. It's getting more. You didn't buy it the first time, and now it's more money.
Yep.
That's not the one I wanted.
Isn't it?
I wanted the ridiculous
you wanted
one
the guard one.
You wanted the security.
The guard helmet looked like a wrestling headpiece.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's some cool Trek stuff here.
Rathacon stuff. Yeah.
I love the Rathacon face appliance, although you just know it's just going to continue to deteriorate.
Yeah,
that's
cool. What number are you at right now?
305.
Okay, good.
I feel like there's Spock ears. I feel like there was a time when Spock ears were hard to get, and now I feel like they show up all the time.
Yeah, you got to be a little suspect.
Well, I also think a lot of people just squirreled them away in their collections because they were just kind of taken off. I'm not taken off and handed out. Because there's like a bunch of writers that have them and a bunch of different people. It's just kind of like end of the day, pull them off. Who wants them?
Well, and the problem with foam latex and latex in general is that they're deteriorating. So they
just look like lumps of
Yeah, if you buy a set, you've really got to do something to maintain. We do know a guy who can, but that's what I'm saying. You got to get somebody to do that, otherwise they won't be around longer.
But they used to. I feel like that's one of the things that is going down in price.
Yeah,
because there's more coming out of the wood.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, and I think people are fixated on the costumes and the hand props, and not so much the ears at this point.
Yeah.
So. I happen to have Simon Pegg's pants in my collection, but here you can get Scotty's entire costume from 2009 Star Trek. So I guess he had more than one pair of pants.
Yes,
clearly. Yeah, I would think so. Oh, it is.
We think you have the stunt pants, right?
I don't know. They say S. Peg on the inside of them.
Yeah.
This has a bunch of names on it. I don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
What numbers? Anyone got anyone?
No, yours say, I think, Barry, I think yours say Simon Stunts. Right? Wasn't that what it was?
It says S. Peg. No, it says S. Peg. I mean, I've got them right here, right next to me. I can go take them off the mannequin and take a look. But
I'm almost positive it says Simon because we were thinking they had the character names in them. And I remember going through IMDb and figuring out that nobody else in that film is named Simon. So, because these are all marked. Because these are all marked to the character name, which is
oh really?
They usually mark them with the actor name.
Again, if you read the thing, it says these are all marked to the character name.
Oh, these pants that are here.
Yeah. Which is why I think Barry, I think yours. I almost because I had yours before you did. And I think it said Simon Stunts on there. And we determined that there was no stunt person named Simon. So.
Maybe.
So.
Okay.
Unlike
only
the
in
Foley
web
costume that says Shatner on the inside of it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Which is my next thing. You're talking 319? Yeah.
Oh, it even says, I know this is the one our friend Tom Spina did. It says in the description, he restored this.
Yep.
Yeah, he did.
It's on his website. Yeah. It's unfortunate that I think the helmet's fake, right? I'm sorry, I'm reading.
I'd have to go back and read this description. I don't remember.
It's not all original.
So are those boots just like Star Trek duty boots that are painted silver?
No, those are girls' disco boots. No, it says the helmet, glove, and boot replicas.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's still cool. I always
it is very,
as hokey
very cool
as that thing is. I always love that.
And Todd, here's your chance to get Saru's costume from Discovery.
Yes, I'd be really excited for that. One of the things I found really interesting because I've seen this before and they've actually made models of this, but 327, the concept model for Voyager, they didn't make. And the estimates are $20,000 to $40,000. That just seems a lot for a concept model for it that was skipped. It's just kind of interesting. So,
does it say who made it? Because that could have something to do with it.
I think it's Rick Sternbach
here.
So
built by
there you go. Yeah.
So, it's a cool design.
Lightsabers.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything before the medal?
Before we get to Star Wars?
I don't have anything before 341, no.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to 341.
I think that's the best thing in this auction, personally. I mean, there's only two of them.
I'm torn between
the
this
Chewie
and the other.
bowcaster is, to me, I don't think it's an iconic weapon, and there's replica parts to it too.
And that's the thing. If this were in its original configuration and wasn't restored and wasn't reconstructed, I would put them on a parallel. I don't think you can. I think this is the item.
There's only one of those, apparently. There was only ever one for all three movies, and that's it.
But it's not
I realize that there are parts.
It's most of it. It's what survives of it.
It's most of it.
I just don't even. To me, it's not even a cool weapon. If it was Hans Blaster or something.
Oh my God!
I think it's incredibly iconic.
About.
I think it stands out among all the things that are there. That it's like the only thing not made of a German weapon. But it's like
it's so unique, Dave, and it didn't have a string in the first movie. But
did he ever fire it? Did we ever see it being fired?
Oh, in Star Wars, yeah, he uses to shoot all the cameras in the
yeah.
Oh yeah.
He also shoots the probe droid with it in Empire.
No,
I don't know. I'm not disagreeing with you that the metal is maybe more iconic, and the fact that they have pictures of both Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford wearing this at different points, like it was worn by both of them. No doubt, this thing is amazing. I just, for me personally, have a hard time choosing between the two. I would be thrilled with either of them, but I feel like if I could only have one,
the good
I might
thing
pick
is
the
I'm buying
bowcaster.
you both of them.
That's right. You're getting both.
Thank you.
And whichever one you don't want, I get. So
okay,
I think
Christmas is coming
early.
I
think this metal, not exactly. This is something you could have in a display case made from Dave's Workshop, in the middle of a room, and have nothing else in it, and it would speak for itself. That's there's not a ton of things. Indy's hat, a lightsaber. I feel like this is one of those things.
Well, and it's in great shape still too.
And there's not sure that that's of them as true as you think it is, Dave. I brought my replica. I'm not
saying in terms of anyone would walk in the room and know what it is, but
that's what I'm saying. I brought my replica to.
This is my Star Wars piece, and I could stare at it all day.
Props class we had at school this year, and I had one kid catch it, and it took him a bit, and it's yeah. Whereas I think
what's amazing to me though is
Star
that
Wars fan.
There's two of them in existence. Neither of them are in the Lucasfilm archives. They're both in private hands. And this one apparently was with a guy that worked on the movie up until very recently. Like he's had it in his possession all this time. So many of these props that we see in these catalogs have changed hands over the last 30 years, like 10 times.
Yeah.
This is the first time it's ever come out for sale.
Well, I don't know if on the bowcaster. I don't know if you listened to the Props podcast yet. It sold. I don't know if it sold. They thought it was a replica in a previous auction, and I don't know if it
sold. I don't think it met reserve. Yeah, it did not sell.
It was believed. It wasn't conclusively proven to be real at that point.
It was listed as a replica in the
research went into it afterwards because somebody I know happened to look at it and say, I think it might be real, and here's the reasons why. And that helped get it into the hands of the prop store guys, and that's why it's now back restored and back to, proven to be the real deal. And there was apparently just the one.
Imagine.
Yeah, and it's just, there's
Is
only
there an explanation
that one.
why it was taken apart?
It went back to
everything went back to Bapti.
Bapti.
Everything went back to Bapti after the first movie. When they were making the holiday special, they realized that they needed it back, so they got it back, but it had already been stripped down at that point, so they put it back together best they could. But in the original movie, there's telephone wires are on both sides, and when it went back, they only put the telephone wires on one side. So there's actually still glue residue on the other side where the wires had been.
Mm.
And then apparently after Empire, Peter Mayhew asked for that extension to be put on the end of it because it was too short to fit into his arm, and that's why they put the extension on it. And that extension isn't really visible in the movie, which is another reason people thought it was not authentic. But when they found press photos of him holding it, they saw that extension was there when they were filming Jedi. So there were a lot of things that went into validating that it is actually the real deal.
A pulse rifle. Like it went back and forth and got changed a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We are running along. So let's everyone just pick two more you want to mention, and then we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
Well, since we're in the Star Wars section, I'll go real quick. I don't think I could afford this, but there's a couple of hand-drawn Joe Johnston concept storyboard sketches, which to have a hand-drawn Joe Johnston storyboard would be unbelievable. To me, those are some of the coolest things in here.
Yeah, that and the McQuarrie stuff is just awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah, the McQuarrie sketches of the costumes are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else? I can go if people are looking. I was very excited about the Top Gun jacket, but it was in the movie, but it's not the original jacket.
Right, yeah.
When they did reshoots, they couldn't find his jacket. Can you imagine? And so they had this extra backup jacket, but that's a big number.
I was going to say, for not being the main jacket, the numbers on this are high, but I also bet you it goes for it.
Yeah,
it's been on Tom's body. Let's get real, people.
Dave,
what more can you ask for?
Dave, why are the estimates higher for Iceman's patch than Pete Mitchell's patch?
I think I read that the Pete is not an original patch. It's a production made that they didn't use it.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, okay. See now.
And I think the other one
was actually screen
because I think it says Pete Mitchell, right?
Yeah.
Because the patches should say Peter Mitchell. I think they made Pete ones and didn't use them.
Okay.
And they have his the nameplate, which I have replicas of. If anyone wants, reach out, fanboycollectibles.com. No. That went for $11,000 last time. Oh. I think this is a different one. The little gold name tag.
Yeah. So one of my other things is I love Rorschach's costume from Watchmen. I just think that would be a really cool thing to have on a mannequin and display. It's so iconic and it's so right off the page that it's great.
And it's the complete costume.
It's perfect.
It's all there, head to toe.
It's it's got a kind of wide estimate in 15 to 30, but it's at 12 already. And
wow, yeah. So. The thing that got me excited was the Cylon Helmet Master vacuum form tool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So because you're somebody that could do something with that.
Yeah, but you start pulling Cylon helmets out of that, and the estimate's really low, surprisingly, for that tool. And Dave, there's a Forbidden Planet shirt in here. We'll keep an eye on that too.
I saw that, but it's not. It's been altered.
But yeah, it was. I think it's
got the black
Twilight
stuff on it.
Yeah. No, Outer Limits. I think the Outer Limits did the black patches.
Yes.
Yeah, it's for way more than we got ours for. So we'll see what that goes for. Yeah.
So Brian, I have to ask, what's the thing that you thought I should buy? Did we get to that yet?
Oh no, that's the 3 Willow things. You need to buy all 3. Well, one of them is. I just had it. I put it away. Let me find it again here.
Dave, I was
he's looking for that. Somebody else.
One of the two of us should buy the Die Hard 2 Glock 17, so that we would start cornering the market on screen use Glocks. So
the Willow Phil Tippett visual effects binder. I mean, if you could take it back to Phil Tippett and have him sign it. And
I know.
And he'd be like, that. Get this out of my house.
The concept painting of the throne room is beautiful. I mean, it actually would be a nice piece to have from Willow. Yeah. And then the crew hat and script. Come on, that's right. That's got to be on your shelf. You mean you got to commit to the stuff you love, man. And
I think I have pretty much committed to the bit, at least, if nothing else. But
this is the perfect example of my rule of love something no one else does because it's cheap to get.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
The problem is I don't think I'm the only one that likes Willow. I hate to break it to you guys.
Well,
Ron Howard could outbid you. So
I don't think Ron Howard likes it.
I do like that Phil Tippett storyboard binder. I mean, I saw that after you mentioned it, and I'm like, yeah, that could be cool.
You should ask him if he has any Willow stuff laying around his house.
That's true.
Next time I'm hanging out with him, I'll ask him.
Yeah.
All right, my last thing is not that it's my last, but which is, and Brian, I feel like this is up your alley too. The Capricorn One backpacks. I mean, that's obscure.
That is obscure.
That's like I love that movie. I don't know if I could own the O.J. Simpson one, but the James Brolin ones would be cool.
Yeah,
they're made out of like Halliburton briefcases.
Yeah, I mean, I totally missed that.
So, but like, where did those things come from? You haven't seen anything from that movie in 10 years. So,
I will say,
else?
as you get down into the third day, I still feel like props and prop replicas should be separated. I just feel it.
I don't think there should be prop replicas in this.
That's what I'm saying. I
don't think they belong.
They're putting production stuff in there with things that were produced as props, and I don't care how valuable they are.
Crew
now.
gifts and things like that. Like there's a
sure.
Terminator head in there that's a crew gift.
That's production.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
I'm saying things that are produced by under license,
right,
for sale should
they
not
don't belong in these auctions.
I
don't like. Do you need an extra 10 items? I'm sorry.
The Capricorn One backpacks, when they don't get sold, we'll pick them up afterwards at the after auction sale.
Don't tell anybody. I'll edit this out. Shh.
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
Okay. So
I'm hoping nobody wants them. All right. Anything else before
last
we
thing
wrap
on my
this thing
list?
up?
The original series necklaces from Mud's Women.
Yeah.
Big bucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm bidding on that one. That's fine.
You bid on that one? I hope you get it, Dave.
I bid on them all the time. I just have not one.
Yeah. Wrath of Khan belt buckle was my last thing that was reasonable.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
That is cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, check out the auction March 26, 27, 28. Watch
Let us know
Daredevil.
if you're bidding on anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know if you get something, I know a guy who can make you a display.
Yep.
Mention Regular Joe's and you get a discount. And if you win anything Willow, Barry, I'll make you a free display.
That's right.
All right. Woo.
So, okay, I gotta go. I gotta watch Daredevil. I gotta put my special Daredevil watching glasses on.
Yeah, rose-colored glasses.
Rose tinted
Daredevil.
Yeah, these are the rose tinted and
Dave's got his Daredevil watching
Barry,
glasses.
someone take a
too.
screenshot. Can someone take a screenshot?
All right, I can do that.
Alrighty, let's go. What's in the box? Barry, what's in the box?
All right, I am holding up a comic book, Defenders issue number 45, that I recently purchased.
I didn't think that's what you were going to do.
On eBay.
Okay.
Does anybody know why I might have wanted to own this, Todd?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I know the Defenders in that era. But is there? Wait a minute. No, I don't know.
So this is March 1977. On the front page at the bottom, I just texted you guys a picture. It is dedicated to Neil, Getty, and Alex of Rush. This issue.
Okay. God, I was looking for the Star Wars connection. Okay.
And there are elements in this story that are tied back to the Rush album 2112. So,
that's awesome.
And there's even dialogue in the book that pulls lyrics from Rush songs, which is it's just great.
Wow.
And there's even mention of a Ringo Starr song in here, which is also really weird. Got it for $2.99. It cost me $10 total with shipping. It was more to ship this thing to me than it was to buy the comic book. But when I found out that there was a Defenders comic from the 70s that was dedicated to Rush, I needed to own it. So that's my what's in the box. The only other thing I wanted to mention, and I know you guys will appreciate this, I've completed a collection, which I'm excited about.
Oh, you've completed Star Wars already?
Nope, not the comic books. No, still working on that. Back during COVID, a good friend of mine gifted me his brother-in-law's Star Wars trading cards.
Right, yep.
And I've been working slowly but surely to complete. So I finally, last week, completed series 1 through 5, all the cards, all the stickers.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I literally worked on it over like 4 years and didn't rush, and I waited for deals and I pieced it together. But what he gave me was a great head start. But
I got to give you my list in case you have extras. I think we've done that already.
I have tons of extras. I have tons of extras. So yeah.
Cool.
So now I'm going to start working on Empire and Jedi. But
oh boy. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, yeah. Daryl.
I'm going at a snail's pace on these, but I'm happy about it. So, all right, I'm done. Dave, what's in the box?
I have a very generic what's in the box. You guys know I sit at this desk, but I also have a work table. I got this awesome work light that you can't see it, but it's really long. It has a ton of extension, and it has 2 little side flaps that go up and down. So it could.
Oh, I've seen that on Tested.
Oh, it's not.
I've seen something like that on Tested.
It's not the $250 one, but this is a 5-foot desk, 5-foot long desk. It can cover the whole thing. So
that's great.
It's brand name is Microlam, but it's awesome. I've been looking for a light that can cover the whole desk. So,
that's really cool.
Yeah, it's great for a work table. Anyway, that's what's in the box. Brian, what's in the box?
So on my recent trip to Ticonderoga, believe it or not, I ran into the guy that won the Logan's Run holster that I was bidding on.
Wait. It was the holster and
I wanted the holster
and the crappy gun.
2 stunt guns. He won those.
Yeah, we were going to do that together.
Yes, and he lives an hour from me.
Get out of here.
He was up at Ticonderoga.
He's at Ticonderoga, yeah. Yeah, he's got a quite original prop collection, including a lot of Flash Gordon and a lot of Buck Rogers.
Oh,
wow. Remind me to tell me his name when we're done, because it may be one of my clients.
Okay. And he gifted me this. These are poker chips. Can you see without reflection here?
Yeah, we're good.
These are poker chips, framed poker chips from the Living Daylights.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's very cool.
That's really cool. Yeah.
The Bond poker chips go for a lot of money.
Yeah, and it's a full set. And Timothy, I love the Timothy Dalton movies. I thought he was a great Bond. And yeah,
yep, I agree.
That was super, super duper. What's in the box for me?
I was hoping you were going to say he sold you the holster, but I guess
not yet. I'm working on him. And he loves Forbidden Planet, and he wants one of my Forbidden Planet shirts. So there may be a deal to be made.
Those are good currency in this market, for sure. Awesome.
And Dave,
that's awesome.
Dave, I'm gonna sell him on the way you did the display too. Actually, if you haven't sent me a recent picture of that, send me another picture of that, would you? With the plaque on the neck,
the Forbidden Planet
shirt.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is it on your website?
I'll send you a picture. It's on my website.
Okay, I can find it then.
Yeah. If anyone doesn't know it, it's from davesworkshop.com.
Yeah.
It's not Fanboy Collectibles?
Not a subsidiary of Fanboy Collectibles.
Not a subsidiary. It's a subsidiary of the Regular Joes.
Yeah. Todd, what's the box?
Okay. So this is a figure of a character named, what's his name, Barry?
G.I. Robot.
This is Robot from Invincible.
Oh, shoot, you're right. Oh, that's Robot from Invincible.
This is Robot from Invincible, who is, spoiler people, not actually Robot. But anyways, it's a cool figure. Came with, for some inexplicable reason, 10 hands and a little chest panel that comes off, which I just discovered while I was fidgeting with it while we were recording. and I've had this 2 weeks. I was like, boy, that thing in his chest doesn't seem to fit right. It's because it comes off. But anyways,
you see why I confused him. He does look a little bit like G.I. Robot.
Oh, absolutely does. So he's voiced by Zachary Quinto. Okay, so there's a little Spock connection there, and but it's a really cool character and with hidden depth. We'll say that, and
yes, and I know I need to catch up on it.
Oh
so
my
that
God, we got to talk about the 8th episode. There's something that happens that someone is going to spoil for you if you don't get on this.
I'm going to try to be caught up by the weekend.
That would be great.
It might as well be you, so go ahead.
What show are you guys talking about?
No.
I missed the show. What is it called?
Invincible.
Invincible.
It's an animated show on Amazon, which is it's the comic book that got me back into reading comics like 10 or 15 years ago. It's my favorite comic book.
Okay,
other than Watchmen,
so Brian,
it's my favorite
don't read
comic book of all time.
anything about it. Don't look up anything. Just go watch the first episode, and it's not like anything animated you've ever seen. Okay,
it was Robert Kirkman's other big comic book other than Walking Dead.
Other than Walking Dead.
Is it particularly violent?
Yes.
Do you have an aversion?
I have seen the first episode.
Okay, yeah.
With my wife, and she said we're not watching that.
Okay. That doesn't change.
No. If anything, it gets worse.
Let's just say,
but it's so good.
Digitally rendered. But like I said, there's a hell of a lot of red ink used.
Okay, yeah, I did see the first episode of that show. Yes,
yeah. There's definitely more of that.
It's an amazing comic, and they've done a great adaptation of it.
For the interestingly, cartoon. Season 4, they're going. It's reportedly they're going completely off book. So this has been very similar to the comic up till this point, but they're going a different way.
The fact that Kirkman's involved, I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And how they've deviated from the comic so far has been great. But I'm telling you, a thing happens in season 8, in episode 8 of this season that I'm not saying. I'm just not saying. I'm not talking.
Does the president die in the first 20 minutes?
The president dies in the first 20 minutes. So it's Barry, did that ruin the show for you? Did that in any way ruin the show for you? So
I had seen it already.
I was just saying.
I had already seen it when you.
All right, we got to wrap this up. As much as much
fun as we're having, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. At the audience expense. Like, please end it. No. Again, check out Daredevil. Check out the auction. Let us know if you buy anything or any of that stuff. And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.